So long on there thinking. Hey there everyone, and welcome to The Consuming Shadow by Ben Yahtzee Croshaw, another story-based game, but this one's a little bit different. I'm a big fan of Yahtzee Croshaw and the stuff that he's doing. I've played the Chisel Mythos and stuff like that. He's a really cool guy and a really good author. As much as I'm dating the video with this, if you go over to the Humble store right now, you can buy the game and you'll get Yahtzee's books, Mogworld and Jam, for your e-reader, for your whatever you choose, Kindle or whatever. You'll get them for free, so it's definitely worth that. It's looking for a Steam Greenlight at the moment, so definitely head over. I'll leave a link in the description if you can. But with that said, let's do this. A shadow is trying to enter our world. One of the ancients. The runes confirm it. I don't know which one. All I know is that they arrive at Stonehenge in 3 days from now. One hope remains, the ritual of banishment. 4 runes incanted at Stonehenge will close the gateway. The trouble is, I don't know what the ritual is. If I investigate the strange events heralding the shadow, maybe I could piece it together. That's all I have, and maybe. Right. Your eyes are immediately drawn to the vibrating box in the bottom corner that says kill yourself. This can happen a lot, so prepare yourself. What happens is this. Well, we're going to resist. You can fight the urge to do it. There we go. So trigger warning there if you don't like that sort of thing. But yeah, let's start. This game is kind of like a survival horror, kind of a text adventure. It's kind of weird. Speaking of text adventure, looking for intel in cursed towns. Restock. Oh, rest. Idiot. Restock at Safe Towns, Old Gate. I was immediately scanning the message for the town name, and I know that these town names are built on prefixes of like actual British towns and just like cobbled together. Right, so Old Gate is our first stop. As you can see by the red dot, it's already a problem area, so we're going to head over. It's 34 miles away. Now there's an overall timer, which, like Dead Rising style, I don't know, nobody doesn't like an overall timer. This one ticks away quite quick. There you go, and 59 of 60 hours remain. We've got 15 cash, we've got a car full of supplies. I'll explain them as and when I use them, but for right now we're going to enter the town. I'm not going to read every text thing, but reports have reached of a mysterious pest rising up from the ground at numerous places, too large to be rats, not to mention too aggressive and too organised. It's clear that this is only the beginning of something terrible. It starts with petty nuisances, killing pets, ruining crops. Sooner or later it escalates to missing people being found half devoured. I must root the nest before it reaches that point. The local council have already mounted a hunt for the origin of the creature and have claimed they have looked everywhere and found nothing. From this, I deduce that the nest is somewhere the council prefers not to talk about. I found what I was looking for in a slum district inhabited by homeless people and street prostitutes, all of whom were giving wide berth to a particular abandoned tenement. Again, like I say, I'm not going to read all of those. Okay, so here's the more, how can I put it, interactive part of the game. It's platformy. I've got a melee attack, and I can shoot. My bullets are down here. That's it, really. It's kind of interesting. It's like I say kind of interesting. It's very interesting. I've been attacking it now for days. It is so cool. Diary page. It's an overall game collectible. I can show you those in the main menu at another time. This is what we're after. Lockers. In a pile of useless metal implements, I found a small tool that could function as a lockpick. Very good. I can deal with that. Okay, so the map, if you've never played something like Binding of Isaac, is completely it's completely randomly generated. So these dungeons will never be the same thing twice. There's a load of enemies. Oh, and we found a clue. This is a perfect chance for me to show you. Right, so the clue that I found is Chisel, if you know the name. Chisel is an enemy of the god identified with the Shm ruin. Right, that sounds bizarre, but if you look on the table, we have a table here. This is where it's like Cluedo. We have an invader. We have an invader's ally. This is the standard for every playthrough. And we have the non-invader, somebody who's kind of the red herring, just a bystanding ancient that's not actually trying to invade us. So each one has a colour, a rune, and a different thing. You can fill your table in like this. I've just made a lot of work for myself now in clearing the table. And the idea is to gather clues, just like you just saw me pick up the little yellow ones. I'm going to have to put all these back to question marks because my OCD just can't take this. Yeah, you gather the clues and you build a full table, and then by the end of your 60 hours, in this particular character's 60 hours, you will find out who the god is, and you will perform the proper ritual at Stonehenge in 60 hours time. Right, so I know Chizau's involved. I know it said something about the Shum ritual, but I find it's a little vague. So we've got another locker here. In the ancient language of the ancients, the name of Nyx is often identified with a symbol resembling a circle with a point, so that's Agon. I know that from a bit of experience. So we've got another god involved, Nyx, but this one's give us more of a clue. Nyx is identified with Agon. So we'll put Nyx into our table, and she's associated with Agon. So if our third Chizau hates the symbol Shum. So this character here, whoever this is at the bottom, I whistled then with my teeth. Okay, I'm not going to attempt. You can attempt to pick the doors, but I'm going to have a bit of a scan around for a key before that starts. Right, so there's something here. I can hear it. I bet that. I found a set of keys. Spitters! That way. Okay. As it stands, he's now suffering with a little bit of anxiety. Before I unlock that room, I'm going to head. There's another one. The walls of the cave were absolutely... Oh, here we go. This is an interesting clue. If you can't decipher what the clue means from the yellow page, come over to your notebook. I'm going to delete that clue because that's what I like to call a certain one. The rune Shum is purple. So back to our table. Shum is purple, and it seems really simple, but you have to really work to find these. What's our objective in this dungeon? Oh, there's a nest in here. That's never good for my ammunition stock. Let's jump on in. Git. Oh, we got a foggy one and a puke one. This is the nest. Let's just keep mashing it. There we go. I'm going mad. Mostly garbage, but we've got a lockpick, 3 armor piercing rounds. I'm going to gather these quick. There we go. The Shum... What's this? The god identified with the Shum ruin? Whoever is doing the Shum is not the invader. This is a for certain thing, so I'm actually going to... The god identified with Shum. You do this a lot. You end up going back to the clues. Okay. We're about to escape the dungeon, as it's called right now. I know it's not a traditional cave in the ground, but we're about to escape the dungeon. What can happen is a random event can happen. Objective, return to the car. If the objective stays as return to the car, you're free to explore the dungeon at will. Make your way on. Whoop. You can hit those out of the air, and I'm going to die on literally my first run. Hollow points for my gun. I'm going to try and get to the car as swiftly as I can. No more trouble, please. You git face. Oh, and he takes a wrong turn as well. Not what you needed right now. You can flee a room with an enemy in it, but be aware it's going to cost you sanity. So it's definitely worth keeping your ears open and your eyes open to make sure that there's nothing lurking in the room before you get dashing out the door. Okay, I'm not too worried about my life though at the moment because I can use my medical supplies. You can see what they do. There we go. Right, so not bad. We've learnt a few things from our first run. That's a really good table for one dungeon. You know, the spells. Again, I hope to show you more of the spells as and when they come up. Right. With what I tend to do is when I've got no guaranteed red infested town or a job to do, I head to the closest town nearby. Okay, text messages are a mixed bag. You can get a good thing or a bad thing. We're going to open this one. There's fighting in the streets of Lawbury. Right, what that means is if I stop the car and look at the destination, see Lawbury, if I can get there in 10 hours, not only can I avoid the town going red, but I can, which means it's obviously a hot spot for bad stuff. If I can stop it going red, I'll also get a bonus bit of money for my bank, which is essential. But I'm going to keep driving to... where are we headed again? We'll pull up in a minute. Oh, these never go well for me. I'm going to open it though. Hi, I don't know you. A dream told me I should help you. I've sent you 9 quid. For those who don't know what a quid is I punched my microphone. I'll probably cut that out. A quid is oh my god, I've seriously moved my microphone. A quid is basically slang for a pound, which is obviously our currency. This town, you'll note there's no fog in front of us or anything like that, so we're going to enter the town, and it looks like a nice town. I am, however, going to visit the hospital, and I'm going to get them to refill my medikit. Back to town. Now I can spend an hour to look for supplies. You'll get a random 3, and you can shop for them. I only have £9. Oh, look at that. A very, very nice... I'm actually going to buy it. What that does, and it's probably going to help the video as well, it couldn't have been a better thing. When I head into a dungeon, the light around my character will be increased. That's kind of expensive for 9mm rounds, personally. I'll prefer just to pay for the one. Different towns, different prices, I suppose. We'll go back to the car. Right then, so we're going to set our destination. I am going to try and get to Lawbury, but I think I'm only going to be able to do that if I head to Twinton. So I'm going to drive the 91 miles. Luckily, fast forward, you don't have to do anything. As your sanity starts to drop, you start to see... Oh, how about that? This is a random event, so I'm going to read this one to you. An emergency clinic has been set up in the waiting area of a local hospital to combat the dangers of the shadow. Currently, the beds and supplies are plentiful, but I wonder how long that state of affairs will continue. The doctors have offered to provide any treatment I require for a donation of £5. If you needed something, for example, you had a broken leg, which is a status effect, bleeding, or I think you can have a broken arm, I think. They will fix it for £5, whereas a normal hospital will charge 10. That's good. That's a nice random event, and a fairly inconsequential one as well. Some of them are harrowing, and each one is really well written. Welcome to Twinton. The fog, if the fog doesn't give you a Silent Hill vibe. Okay, immediately suspicious of the people. If you want to read it through, feel free. So we think there's something wrong here. First people who exhibit strange behaviour I've discovered. Dock workers. It's going to be a warehouse run, isn't it? So what you can do is, if you don't want to read the flavour text, you don't have to. I understand. I'll skip that second one. There's a large creature that's bewitching the town. Again, this is another ammo-heavy run. So let's keep moving. We'll look for clues as well. Each dungeon definitely yields clues. Just because a town on the map isn't red... Just because a town on the map isn't red on your map, it doesn't mean that it's a safe town or that it's... Boof! Here's a bit of information that I rarely pay too much attention to. This is the Bati rune. It's been inscribed on the wall here in orange. A generic prayer to a god. Not necessarily a god perverting this place. It could be intended for an associated deity. I rarely put much stock in those because the ambition... What you could take from them is fairly ambiguous. Someone left a keyring. So we've got the doors open. It's kind of cool that you will find the keyring. Here's another... There was a discarded breathing mask. As it stands, I will take that. Because I've got a slot free, but it's one I can do without. You have to meet the right enemies. I'm going to get out of this room before something spawns. Okay. We're looking for a note. Batted out the air. Smacked in my face. Once you close in on those, they're usually... Money? Wow. This is a fairly good run, actually. See, now I've got a full complement, a full clips complement of bloody bullets. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to search the box. There we go. More 9mm rounds. What on earth am I doing, Craig? Stop searching boxes. Here's our monster. He's not a bad one, really. You can kind of cheese him. Just stay to his rear. He needs a fair bit of distance to perform his pukey attack. There we go. So the clue there, if you didn't want to read that, the god identified by the rune Agon is not invading. We have our invader. It's Chazelle. But that's really good. That is really good. One of these is not the invader. One of these is the ally. But for all intents and purposes, we're on the path to discovering the invading god. Here we go. We're going to wait to see whether we get the bonus thingy. The dungeon complete. Return to... You can always tell if it's going to do the bonus thing, because where it says return to the car, it's literally like somebody hits the delete key quickly, and that's the one you need to hit when you're closing in. For some reason, a perfectly functioning lockpick. I don't use many lockpicks. I have, but I don't. 53 hours left in the overall time. I hate those. Oh, and I couldn't even hit one. Ugh, dealing with these things. A locksmith's kit. No more searching for keys. The items are all really, really useful. Should be able to just get out of here now. That's it. You can escape a dungeon by sacrificing an hour. You can sneak out. The town folks are not immediately better off with the extermination of the creature behind their enslavement. There have been several murders, suicides already as the memories of their actions return. Best thing I can do for them now is to leave them to heal. The damage is done. Now it takes a qualified professional. Right, in my first video, what my plan is to try and get down to 30 hours remaining. So it'll be like 30 hours. And then we'll see where I fail. If I fail before then, I fail before then. There's nothing you can do. Open. It sounds callous, but if previous safe town falls to the shadow, it may create a new opportunity. It does. A red town. Ow. Oh, we have a random event. I don't know what to do. I never know what to do. I've tried running. It doesn't work. I'm going to pull over. Okay. Oh, no. I'm not going to run him, am I? I'm just going to pull over. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's good. That's a good outcome. He could have been one of those. Reports of a sleeper cell in Waterchurch. So we've got a mission in Waterchurch. Welcome to Lawbury. Did they say there was fighting on the streets in Lawbury? As soon as I arrive, I see creatures of the shadow infested the streets, attacking wantonly. People are making a valiant effort to fight them off. Let's go join in the struggle. The try hard, the silence, the death. £27. Ladies and gentlemen, we are what we like to call flush. We're going to quickly run to the car. Top tip, pro tip. If you're near in a safe town and you've got a little bit of money, you can always the hospital doesn't take time, so you can always refill your med kit. Bam. Now I have 3 very good items on me. I'm inclined to not to buy stuff, but I am going to use an hour while we've still got the clock to burn. That can stop my anxiety. But another good thing as well is in random events, if you have, say, a bottle of tranquilizers, or a stab-proof vest, or either any of these extras, these equipable extras, they can play a part and actually affect the outcome. You can choose to use them. I'm tempted, but I'm not going to. I'd rather have a medikit refill, so that was a wasted hour there. Set destination. How about that? We've got something going on in Waterchurch. We're heading south really fast, though. I don't like having to do that. I prefer to arc in either east or westerly direction and follow the coast and come in like that. 49 hours remain. We're doing okay. 48 hours remain. I stopped the car accidentally. Oh, God. Right, what do we reckon? Good or bad? Where's my pop filter? Open. Keep running, coward. That's bad. That's going to hit our sanity if you want to watch the green bar in the top right. Bam. We lose 3 points. Did you see that? There was a flash of something white on the side of the road on the window screen if you want to back that up. That's part of my sanity doing the thing. I'm going to enter the town. Is this more... It's more fighting on the streets, which is just like an insta... Oh, no, it isn't. There's a rift. This is interesting. We're going to get to see the spells at work. I can pick every lock now, and I'm actually going to do it. Because why not? Ooh, bin. Interestingly, the name Chazal, as well as the associated symbol, is only ever inscribed in red. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another little bit of information, and it's about our invader. He's red. Now, another colour involved was orange, but we're not gonna speculate, because if we end up filling our table in wrong, it is totally feasible it's totally feasible that you could get to Stonehenge and perform the entirely wrong ritual. With that said, though, as well, you could also go to Stonehenge with absolutely no idea what you're doing and try to blag your way through. Oh God, no, 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 no. There we go, timing. I've recovered. Oh, look at that, it's lovely. I think we just got the name of our third god. Our third god is Yushig, and it's confirmed as well because it's said that he is associated with the colour purple. Fantastic. Let's keep going. Corpse here, their body was horribly diseased, violent burstings and swelling. So the god of disease took a victim there. Not good. Wasn't good for him anyway, sorry for me. 2 armor piercing, that's always good. Flies through one enemy and into the one behind him. There's our rift. Okay. I'll explain quickly while it's paused. The fuzzy screen you're seeing right now isn't normally fuzzy. I've just caught it in an effect. There we go. That's our spells. Bati, Agan, Shim, Kiz, and you. They are there. You cast them by selecting them, and then you stop the stick in the middle, and you press X or the pressure button for the final time to cast the spell. For this particular one, it's Shim, Bati, as you can see by the symbols on the orange thing over to the right. So let's cast it. Shim, Bati, and cast. And the rift is gone. And everyone is happy. If you're not quick enough, someone will... we're clear to leave. I had silence there. And our dungeon is clear, so we're going to make our way out of the... Ah! No. 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 You want to hassle those. You want to get on top of those when they start coming. That's just your insanity, folks. Don't stop. No. That's it. That's it. You didn't drop anything? Thank you. So generous. Let's get out of here. Close the rift, ladies and... Ah, la la la. I'm going to flee so I can get a good run up and see these coming. Okay. If your first port of call is melee as well, you can save yourself one small embarrassing thing. The people waiting for me outside seem determined to ask questions upon my assurance that the problem is...